Good evening, CFA upper school students. Welcome to Mr. P's Garage. Hope y'all had a good day today. It's Thursday, April, what? What is it? April 3rd? Is that right? 2nd. My bad. April 2nd. So real quick, not going to be a long one tonight, Mr. P's Garage. I wanted to tell you about something that I did over the weekend to talk about failing at something. Failing multiple times at something. Before that, though, got the joke. All right, you ready? Here we go. What do fashionable frogs wear? A jumpsuit. That one, Noah, little seven-year-old, got me that one. So anyway, this weekend, Mr. Fee's old truck was having some issues with the turning signal. Oh, it wouldn't stay put. I couldn't just flip it up and put the directional signal on and it stay. I knew there was something messed up in it. So I decided that I was going to replace my turning signal switch. And in order to do that, you have to pull the steering wheel off first, which is kind of cool. We'll look in here. All right. So just get an idea what we got going on here. So first thing you got to do is pull the steering wheel off. In order to do that, you got to pull this cover off. You got to take this bolt on there. Well, actually, the nut that's on there, and you have to wind that off. And then you have to get an actual steering wheel puller. Just so happens I have one. That was good. Pull the steering wheel off. Now, then you got to take this collar off. And then you got to take this piece off here. The turning signal switch actually sits right inside of here. Now, it operates. It's wonderful now. Lee can even hear it. It clicks up. It stays. It's amazing. It turns the other way. It's amazing. My hazard lights even work now, which is pretty phenomenal because none of this stuff worked ahead of time. Now, I'll tell you where I failed, though. The wires that run up to ye old turning signal switch are in this column. And they run inside the column down there underneath. And let's see, and here they are right here. I thought I'd planned it out pretty well, but I took this stuff off and the wires connect to a snap down there. And the snap, you have to pull the old wires out of the snap connector and you have to remember what order they go in. So I took a picture with my phone. Probably the smartest thing I did all day. But I put it all back together, ran the wires down the column, then realized I forgot that I had to run them through this collar and this collar. So I had to take everything apart down there again, fish all those wires back out, put them all the way back down through, and I forgot another part. So I had to do it all over again. Then, once I got it all in, ready to go, I turned the car on. Sure enough, the signal worked. Fantastic. So I got in the car to drive off. So happy, ecstatic. It worked. Only to find that when I put the steering wheel back on, when it was straight, it was all cockeyed like that. And it looked funny going down the road. So I got home, took the steering wheel back off, and repositioned it. So it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, it took, I don't know, an hour and a half longer than it should have. But it was just something that just kept going wrong. But it's still, it works now. It's great. But when something doesn't work out, sometimes you just got to keep working at it. And so that was Mr. Fee's much longer project this weekend. Now, real quick, I want to revisit something that I mentioned earlier about electricity. And this is very important for everybody in your home, especially you youngins. What happens if you actually need to turn the electricity off in your house for something? Well, you need to find your electrical panel. Here's mine out here in the garage. Sometimes they're in the house, but you need to find where yours are. And it's really cool. You open it up and all those pretty switches in there, those are actually your circuit breakers. And if you flip them, see, they all should be labeled too, which is pretty cool. So if I wanted to turn off everything in my kitchen, I would flip that over, and that kills all the power to the kitchen. So sometimes it's necessary. If your lights all of a sudden go out, say if a light goes out in one room, but there's a light on still in the other rooms, you haven't lost electricity, you can go to your electrical panel, and sometimes what happens is you've overloaded a circuit and it's kicked that switch, and you can just flip it off and then back on. But that's very important to know. Don't ever mess with those things, though. Don't be messing around those electrical circuits, because there's a lot of power coming in on those guys. But it's always good to know where they are, and it's always good to have, so that if you're changing something in the house, if you need to, if there's something going on with an electrical circuit, sometimes you can plug something in and there'll be smoke start coming out of the outlet. Be a good idea to go find that circuit breaker and flip it off. Anyway, just a helpful, handy tip for something in your home. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. We'll get back to doing something cool, some cool project. I think what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to learn how to shut off the water at your toilet and or sink should there be an issue. All right. Or shut off water to the house too, in case you got a real big problem. Anyway, those are good things to always know and have in the back of your pocket, just as you grow up and move forward. And miss you guys tons. As the longer we're out of school, the more I miss you. I was talking to a teacher today, and their response when I was checking in on them, they just said, you know, this has taken away my most favorite part of teaching, which is being with the students every day and seeing their faces and hearing them laugh and hearing them talk. And I agree. You know, this is really hard on everybody. I know it's hard on you guys, missing your friends and your community and your routine, but it's hard on us old folks too, because we really miss seeing your faces and hearing you talk and hearing you laugh. So we love you. Hope to see you sooner rather than later. And I'll see you tomorrow with Mr. Fee's Garage taking on some plumbing issues. All right. Y'all have a good evening. Good night.